Hey, today I'm going to go over the pen tool, which is a pretty useful tool in Adobe Illustrator. I have Adobe CS5 up, but this will work with the many other versions, CS2, CS3, CS4. Go ahead and open up Illustrator and go to File, New, and you can go ahead and name it if you want up here. Your dialog box may look a little bit different from mine in CS3, for example, but some of the same settings: orientation, letter, or actually the size is letter. Orientation is portrait or landscape. We have measurements and points. Letter is pretty standard. Those settings are fine. Just go ahead and hit OK. And then over on the toolbox over here, go ahead and click on the pen tool, or you can press P. If you hover over the tools, you can see what's their shortcut in parentheses. So go ahead and click the pen tool, and this is how it works. Let's just not drag at all. Just click and let go, click and let go, click and let go, and then go back to the beginning, click and let go, and that completes that shape like a triangle there. Same thing here. You could do almost like a imperfect rectangle. You do many different shapes. Okay. Once you have those, you can click on one of them with the selection tool, which is the black arrow, and you can change the fill. You can make them have no fill by clicking down at the bottom of the tools palette. If you don't have that up, go to Window, then Tools, and you can change a stroke as well by clicking that on the bottom of the tools palette. You can make no stroke, or you can set it to a specific color and change the width of the stroke. It's kind of what you call the border as well. So we can make that about 14. And you can also go to Window Stroke and adjust the settings as well. You can click and drag around these with the selection tool, black arrow, and you can move them around as a group by clicking and drag them. You can just grab a couple of them, move them around. You can also rotate if you go right next to the corner and click and drag, and that rotates them. And of course, if you click one, and you can delete it by pressing backspace. Now you can also, or delete, you can also select the edge of these with the white arrow, which is the direct selection tool. So go ahead and click an anchor point, what we call an anchor point, and even though I've already drawn it, you can see here how we can adjust it. You can also grab the paths, which are basically the lines between the anchor points. These are points and then paths. So you can adjust that as well, make different shapes. Now go ahead and click the pen tool again, and just creating straight lines is fine, but what if you want to add some curves to the line as well? You do that by just clicking and dragging. First time though, don't click and drag right away, just click once and let go. And then in the second point, just choose an area and click and drag. And you'll notice it brings out these extra little points there where you can pull it at an angle. Okay, make this a little bit larger stroke. I'm gonna go to Window and then Stroke, and I'll make it maybe 8 points. Okay. Now if you notice, this has a specific angle here, and if I click here, it's going to continue that angle. So if I click right here, for example, let me so if I click right here, it's going to continue that along. Okay. If I click here, it's going to continue that path. And then click here, and then click here, then click here. It's like a sunglasses or some kind of shape. Okay. Then you close it out, and you can add a stroke or a fill, for that. And again, you can still edit it with the direct selection tool with the white arrow. Click off here somewhere and then click, and you can move the paths as well as the points. And also the angle, the handles of these points, you can change as well. So that affects the angles of those paths and the points in between. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that, start again. with the pen tool, and this time I click and let go and click and drag over here. And what if I want this to come up straight again like that? What I would do, if I clicked right here, notice it automatically goes down right here, right? I'm going to just have no fill there. What you can do, I'm going to do Control Z to undo. Before you click that next one, go ahead and just click again on this anchor. It adds like a little greater than sign. Click again and that'll reset the angle. So you can continue on like that if you want, like it normally would, or you can do it the opposite way, just like that. Okay. So again, if I do this, it'll automatically do that. If I click below, it'll automatically keep that specific angle. But if I want to reset it, click again on that anchor, the most recent one, and then I can do that, or and go back the other way. Okay. And again, you can use the white direct selection tool to adjust the paths and just to create a custom illustration from using the pen tool. This is just a very basic introduction to it. Go ahead and try that out. And you can also, if you click and hold on to the pen tool, you can add an anchor point. So where you clicked earlier, you can actually add one. So if you click and hold on to the pen tool and click on add anchor point tool, you could add one right here, for example, right there. How about has to be right on the path here and over here. Once you create those, then you can actually move the paths and the angles. You can make even like a wave. Speaking of which, you could go back to the pen tool, click, and you could go way up here, and then if you want to reset it, again, click it, the most recent one, and you could make a wave as well. And you could bring that around and bring it back to the beginning. If you want to remove an anchor point, you can click and hold and just go to delete anchor point. Then you'd actually delete these points. Okay, just like that. You have to click right on it. And if you want to add one, you can of course add it as well. So that's a kind of a brief introduction to the pen tool. Thank you.